With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin. The Gold Supermarket on I&O Road in Hyannis is now permitted to sell wine and beer. The store is a Brazilian market carrying South American and Brazilian foods. The licensing authority met this morning and approved a request for a new annual retail wine and malt packaged goods store license. Manager Vincent D'Olimpio and attorney David Lawler appeared before the board this morning. They said they wanted to better serve the Brazilian community.
We all know that the law with respect to licenses is the need and convenience of the residents of the town of Barnstable. Now, more often than not, people look at the need and convenience as a situation where, where's the next closest liquor store? Where's, the ability to obtain alcoholic beverages within a certain distance and whatnot. In this particular instance, we're looking at the word need and convenience, but more importantly, we're looking at the word community. Gall's unique. It services the Brazilian community. The Brazilian community, sometimes the numbers statistically from the Census Bureau are a little difficult, but they're anywhere representing potentially 5,000 or more people in the town of Barnstable and the greater region, certainly in Hyannis. A very strong, dynamic, and wonderful community through the churches and their own, but they've maintained. The Brazilian community has, like a lot of the cultures, my culture before me, the Irish culture, 100 years ago, and the Italians and all the things that have brought to this country that made us what we are. Now Cape Cod in particular has a very strong Brazilian influence, and in looking at that, I'm not going to read their names off, but we did a short informal survey. We went through and approached 10 specific liquor stores, and I'm sorry, in Hyannis itself, yes. And I'm going to hand you the list. I don't feel there's a need to read them off. And then I'm going to provide you with also a subsequent packet, which my client has comprised of Brazilian beers and wines. Now, this Brazilian market serves specifically Brazilian-type foods, and is 90% of their clientele are of Brazilian heritage.
Lawler and D'Olimpio then responded to a variety of questions and concerns raised by the board.
Plan on having any other beer or wine other than Brazilian?
That's a good question. I think the way to answer that, understand this, that the beer and wine part of the business is a complement of what we already carry. We've probably got 3,600 square feet of retail space, roughly, and all imported, mostly imported items. There are some items that are made in this country that just is a necessity. To think that South Americans, Brazilians are going to eat just Brazilian food they acclimate themselves to the society, so they've kind of crossed over. So I would say 90% of what we carry is probably going to be of the Brazilian variety. We probably would like to carry, as a convenience factor, some domestic products, but most of the products, our goal is to carry and to offer the Brazilian inventory.
Have you been receiving any requests from your customers for this product?
Absolutely, quite a bit on a regular basis. It just doesn't exist. And I even spoke to one of the distributors who's off Cape and asked him if he sells to anybody down here, and he says virtually no one.
You realize, of course, that it's up to us to decide if there's an adequate number of licenses to serve the public. And your burden obviously is quite heavy because you have a licensed establishment probably less than 500 feet on one side and probably less than 4/10 of a mile on the other. And these establishments, you're saying, are either ignoring or unaware of the need for this product. That's really what your argument is then.
Well, not just those two, but the entire, take it further out. Take it all the way to Marston's Mills, Osterville, take it out. There's no, I don't see any. We haven't done the survey that far, but I have been to many of these package stores investigative reasons over the years, but I don't believe, and I can't back it up scientifically. I haven't actually done and gone and surveyed all the liquor stores in the town. We did the ones in Hyannis. My client did. But I would suggest to you that not only is it the one right up the street and the one down their corner, it's also the ones on the other side of Hyannis and in the other villages of the town of Barnstable that don't service this need, and for that matter, the rest of them on Cape Cod.
The other thing I just wanted to quickly point out, if I may, on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on the 7th, on the list of the inventory list, the 7th store is a specialty store. It's a Mediterranean Greek store, and there is a history of this board granting a license for that to a specialty store. Their inventory is pretty much Mediterranean, Spanish, Greek wines. So there is a history to giving somebody a license just for that.
Wasn't that a butcher shop before?
This is on Main Street
Yeah.
in Hyannis.
Oh, you're talking about the Greek store.
Yeah. So they carry, that's specifically Greek-oriented foods, and they have a license.
The list that you provided to the board of the beers and wines, are those all things that licensed wholesalers will be able to provide for you? Where are those items going to come from?
Yeah. For the most part, yes. There's different distributorships. There's the conventional companies that carry some of the beers, some of the more popular ones, but there's specialty outfits in the state that carry specific brands that no one else does.
You're aware of the fact that you can only purchase from licensed wholesalers, though, correct?
That's correct.
So
yes.
these are only coming from licensed wholesalers?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My second question is how you plan on regulating or enforcing the forms of ID that are taken to purchase these items. In this state, it's a passport, it's a mass driver's license, it's a liquor ID card, or it's a military ID card. For better or worse, there are people in the Brazilian community who don't have those items. How do you plan on enforcing them?
They won't be served. I mean, we're going to follow the law. I mean, for people that don't have a driver's license and don't have a passport, there's that Massachusetts ID, which they can get, and if individuals are not properly of age, we're going to follow the policies and procedures that I've talked to Mr. D'Olimpio, and he's very well aware of, to be extraordinarily vigilant.
The board voted to approve the license, and Chair Martin Hoxie commented on the complicated nature of the request.
You had a awesome burden because of the location of other establishments, but you did present a case for your client that there was a need for this product, and I just hope that this product does serve the population and doesn't turn into a regular beer and wine package store in competition with one a stone's throw away.
I think that what we've presented will in fact come to fruition, and that those fears, though obviously justified, will not come to be.
A show cause hearing for Puffer Bellies scheduled for today's hearing was postponed to October 3rd. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.